In the remote desert of southern Peru, one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world lies hidden in plain sight. Across hundreds of square miles of barren desert ground, massive drawings stretch across the earth. Some form straight lines that run for miles. Others create enormous shapes: birds, monkeys, spiders, whales, and strange geometric patterns. These are known as the Nazca Lines, and for more than a century they have puzzled archaeologists, historians, and scientists around the world. Because these drawings are not small. Some stretch hundreds of feet across, some are longer than a football field. And the strangest part of all, you cannot fully see them from the ground. Their shapes only become clear from high above the desert, which leads to an obvious question. Why would an ancient civilization create gigantic drawings that can only be seen from the sky? The Nazca Lines were created by the Nazca people, an ancient culture that lived in this region roughly 1,500 to 2,000 years ago. They lived in one of the driest deserts on Earth. Rain almost never falls here, and that extreme dryness helped preserve the lines for centuries. The Nazca people created the lines using a surprisingly simple method. The desert floor is covered in dark reddish stones. When these stones are moved aside, the lighter-colored soil beneath becomes visible. By carefully removing the top layer of rocks, the Nazca people created bright lines that contrasted sharply with the darker desert surface. The result was enormous images carved directly into the landscape. But this explanation only solves part of the mystery, because the real question is not how they made the lines. The real question is why. For decades, researchers have proposed many different theories. Some believe the lines had religious meaning. The Nazca civilization depended heavily on water. In the harsh desert environment, water was life. Some archaeologists believe the lines were part of rituals meant to call upon the gods for rain. The giant drawings may have represented sacred animals connected to their beliefs. Others believe the lines were used for ceremonial walking paths. Large groups of people may have followed the lines during religious ceremonies, walking across the desert in ritual patterns meant to honor their gods. Another theory suggests the Nazca Lines may have had astronomical significance. Some researchers notice that certain lines appear to align with the positions of the sun, the moon, or important stars. According to this idea, the lines may have functioned as a giant calendar, helping the Nazca people track seasons, harvest cycles, or ceremonial dates. But while some alignments exist, many scientists believe the evidence for an astronomical purpose is limited. Still, the mystery continues. Then there is the most controversial theory of all, the alien theory. Because the Nazca Lines are so massive and so clearly visible from the air, some people have suggested they were meant as signals to visitors from the sky. Ancient astronaut theorists claimed the lines could have been landing markers or communication signals for extraterrestrial beings. It is an idea that has fascinated the public for decades. Books, documentaries, and television shows have explored the possibility. But most archaeologists strongly disagree with this theory. There is no scientific evidence linking the Nazca civilization to extraterrestrial contact. In reality, the Nazca people were highly skilled engineers and artists. They understood their environment. They had the patience and organization needed to plan and construct enormous designs across the desert. And surprisingly, creating the lines may not have required an aerial view at all. Researchers have demonstrated that simple wooden stakes, ropes, and basic planning could allow ancient builders to create accurate, large-scale designs even without seeing the final image from above. Over time, the mystery of the Nazca Lines has become even deeper. In recent years, new technologies such as drones and satellite imaging have revealed hundreds of additional geoglyphs hidden across the desert. Some were previously unknown. Others are far older than the famous Nazca designs. Some were created by an earlier civilization known as the Paracas culture. These discoveries suggest that the tradition of creating giant desert drawings may have lasted for centuries, perhaps even longer than scientists originally believed. But despite all this research, one truth remains. No single explanation fully answers the mystery. The Nazca Lines could have served multiple purposes: religious rituals, ceremonial pathways, astronomical markers, or symbolic messages meant to honor gods or ancestors. Whatever their true purpose, the Nazca Lines represent one of the greatest artistic achievements of the ancient world. Imagine standing in the desert 2,000 years ago. Groups of people carefully clearing stones, slowly revealing shapes that would stretch across the land itself. Images so large they would only be fully visible from the sky. And yet, the Nazca people created them anyway. Even today, when airplanes and satellites allow us to see these massive drawings clearly, their meaning remains uncertain. And perhaps that's what makes them so fascinating. The Nazca Lines remind us that ancient civilizations were capable of incredible creativity, organization, and vision, even without modern technology. And sometimes, the greatest mysteries of the past are not hidden underground. They are written across the landscape itself, waiting for us to understand them.